Hey everyone, this is Manly Badass Hero, and welcome back to The Letter. Previously, Ash had escaped Revolver Ocelot's torture interrogation. Now he's wandering the house, realizing his life is terrible. So, a quick kind of rundown real quick of how this is all going to go down for this route towards the end here. Since I do get all the endings for each of the routes, this one's going to be no different, but I'm going to go with my own kind of route first, and then I am going to loop back, get some of the earliest scenes, and then get a little bit of context to the other endings, and then go for the other routes. My feet hasn't even landed firmly on the floor when... Hasn't? You mean haven't? Well, you aren't as incompetent as I thought. Perhaps you deserve some of my money, no. A chill seeps into every vein in my body. All of a sudden, every ache, every pain returns to me tenfold, and my knees friend buckle at the sound of his voice. Though it appears friendly, I know it is anything but. One does not spend investigating a man like him for over a year and holding a grudge against him for more, without knowing everything about him. His quirks, his habits, I'm familiar with all of them. And right now, Luke fucking Wright is beyond pissed. Shifting my gaze upwards is nearly too painful, knowing the danger. In front of me, something clicks. The telltale sound of a gun safety catch being released. Call me paranoid, but at a slight gesture, I draw my own and level it at him. Call me paranoid, but at the slight gesture, I draw my own and level it at him. Finger on the trigger ready to release the safety of mine in case things go south. He's quick to train his own on me though, and just like that we're at a standstill.
Now, little pig. Manners. You're in no position to be pointing that gun at people.
Technically I am. I'm in position to be pointing a gun right now. Despite being weak and weary after the torture I've gone through, my will to live perseveres. Being friends for so long with the likes of Isabella and Rebecca has made me more stubborn than a mule over the years.
Why don't you put yours down first, and then we'll talk about manners.
Oh, he talks back. The gall! You know, your kind pisses me off so much.
What are you implying? Shooting him right now will be so worth it, with the way he stares at me like I'm a damn pest. But this isn't what I've come here for. I'm not a murderer. As much as I loathe him and what they did to me, I'm not the kind who will kill people in cold blood for my own gain or amusement. The law will bring him what he deserves one of these days. At the moment, however, we're all in the same boat with this curse, and he needs to understand that. The longer we stand here, the more time we're wasting and losing, something we don't have much of. But how can I convince him? The scum is so full of himself, but first I hear the sound of his own voice more than those of people around him, no matter how much sense they make. Probably the only way I can make him listen is if I beg. No way in hell that's happening. Maybe I should eliminate the immediate danger first and disarm him.
Sorry about this. I really don't have time for you.
I don't think twice. Within the span of a heartbeat, I'm moving and pulling on the trigger. 2 shots in quick succession echo across the whole foyer and both hit their mark true. Wright recoils with a sharp cry of pain. His pistol falls useless to the floor with a loud clank, followed by drops of blood from his bleeding wrist.
Why, you insolent!
He's down in 2 successive steps when I tackle him on the floor, hitting him hard with my arm. Oh god, the ghost. It's angry. Although before I could knock him out with a solid right hook, an agonized wail bursts through the tense air, loud enough to echo along the dark, empty halls of the mansion. Piercing enough for every occupant in the foyer to cover their ears and close their eyes. Then all at once, there are images. Flashing fleetingly, yet burning itself in my mind. They down me with the weight of its accompanying emotions like they are my own. Some are merely vague, blurry shapes will ever display vividly. I guess these are all the ones I've gone before. All from a time long gone in a life that was never mine. Over and over, along with every voice, every whisper, they shout, they cry, they wail, all asking for respite from an internal torment. Let's see. Was there more I could have gotten? No, that's probably because that's all the ones you can get up till now. However, there's no time to make sense of all of it. Amidst the discord and the noise, something whizzes. Too close. Too swift. A brief keen blur that barely registers my eyes, like an arrow quickly finding its mark and heading straight for... Ugh! An acute pain bursts from my chest in the next instant. All of a sudden, everything around me feels too sharp. Every edge, every point. Even the act of drawing a deep breath alone stings and burns my lungs, while intense ache slowly spreads throughout my whole body. Numb. I feel numb. My hand comes away bleeding, shaking, while I can only let out a wet, ragged laugh. I wonder if the butler did this to me. Soon without warning, I'm going down on my knees and the whole world is pitching sideways. I've gone through a lot, survived a lot of shite. It doesn't take a genius to figure out that I'm done for. Whatever hit me, a hole to the chest is fatal enough. I don't think I'm going to bounce back from this. I'm dying. I should be afraid in this moment. Yet I'm not. There are 5 stages. Denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and... I guess this is acceptance.
I'm coming, guys. I'll be with you soon.
Ash had a hard life. At least he didn't die to the ghost. No sense of regret. Even as she appears before us, her voice echoing throughout the foyer. Oh, it's Hannah Zombie. At the top of the staircase, Hannah Wright stands, pale as death and expression eerily calm. A cold chill runs up my spine at the sight. The woman just lingers there, a poor memory of life, a chilling smile on her face. So I guess the ghost went out of its way to go collect the body. It's like, I needed that, you were supposed to keep that alive. Without a doubt, it's her.
I told you, didn't I? Everything you're doing is useless, Ashton Frey.
You know nothing.
And now, you're dying. Meddlesome fool.
Others dying alone feel Ashton Frey, Hannah Wright would have said.
Hannah? You're not supposed to be here.
Oh, Luke, darling, my love. You look so upset. Are you not happy to see me?
Outside, another streak of lightning flashes and a clap of thunder ripples across the sky. Here, there's only a whispered sigh, a fading breath. Rip. And a lone heart that beats hard one last time. Memory fragment. My life's not the only one at risk here, however. We're all unknowing victims to this fucking curse. I'm in no position to pick who to save and who I should simply let die. I suppose my pride can take a few hits and I can set aside my beef with this asshole. Take a deep breath. Slowly, I lower my pistol. Though still on the edge and not ready, in case he does something, I do my best to assume a less aggressive stance.
Listen, Wright. I need you to...
You broke into my house, and somehow, you expect me to listen like a good little boy.
Listen, your wife is a zombie. Get out of here.
Are you a bit touched in the head, Feathers? I'm not the one breaking laws here.
Look here, fucker. If I wanted you dead, I could have done it so many times already. In fact, I can easily shoot you down right here, right now. And you won't be able to do a damn thing, even with that gun.
Suddenly he laughs. Almost howling. In fact, like I've just told him the best joke he's heard all his life. The only thing missing is for him to keel over and start rolling around the floor. All while I do my best not to sock him with the sorry end of my pistol.
You have guts, little pig. You have guts. Did you hear what you just told me? You've just threatened me inside my own house. My own home. You know what I'm thinking right now? In another lifetime, we would have probably gotten along well.
He's right on that, at least. I might have ended like him, but I didn't have Professor Andrew, Rebecca, Zach, and Isabella. One mistake and it would have been too late for me. With his laughter rings all those possibilities I could have lived, but I've never been given the choice. Technically, with all the possibilities in existence, you could have been a hot dog salesman. A ninja hot dog salesman. But anyway, all because I have other people with me. People who care. A sobering realization. They're all dead. But not so much when suddenly his chuckling stops. In 2 heartbeats, he marches towards me, grabs my collar, and aims his gun right at my head. At this distance, a slight flick of that finger on the trigger will do more than kill me.
What is it that you people really want with me? This is the 3rd time this week, and I'm really getting weary of this little game.
One last time. Are you with the NCA or are you a hitman? Which one is it, little pig?
Mind you, my arm's getting tired. Better answer quick if you don't want to beat the business end of this gun.
I keep my eyes trained on him. It's why the huge threat he poses right now. Because if there's anything people like him, like us, prefer, it's honesty. You don't get that impression without keeping a solid eye contact.
I already told you, I'm not with NCA. I'm just here to help. There's something else in this house, and we're all in danger. You have to believe me, right? You need to let me go. You need to get out of here before it's too late. If you want to keep your sorry ass alive, you'll listen to people with more brain cells than you.
Why, you insolent!
His finger moves, but I'm prepared. My hand ready to reach up, disarm him, and knock him out. If I have to drag him out of this place unconscious to keep him from suffering the fates of every other person who has died from this curse, so be it. However, before either of us can fire a shot or tackle the other to the ground, another voice echoes throughout the foyer. A small little thing compared to the storm raging outside. It rings above it, nevertheless causing us to stop and turn. At the top of the staircase, Hannah Wright stands, pale as death and expression eerily calm. A cold chill runs up my spine at the sight. The woman just lingers there, a poor mimicry of life, a chilling smile on her face. Without a doubt, it's her.
Hannah? You're not supposed to be here.
Oh, Luke, darling, my love. You look so upset. Are you not happy to see me?
Outside, another streak of lightning flashes and a clap of thunder ripples across the sky. As if this whole thing can't get any more foobar than it already is. So I've skipped ahead, and to kind of show you where I am right now, and how this good route is splitting. Here's the bad end route down to the south. Here is basically the good end route, I'm assuming anyway. So, we've ended up here, and we're basically just when he discovers the ghost attic, and is confronted by the butler. The momentum alone sends me reeling forward. It barely even registers in my head that the woman's gone and the room's as normal as it can be. Not about the pain suddenly shooting up my side when I hit the floor. I don't even get the chance to get my bearings back when a hard enough blow to the stomach causes me to buckle down and land heavily on my knees. Gasping, I fumble wildly for my gun. Although before I'm able to turn, level and shoot, a hand grabs my wrist and twists it. Hard. A gasp. A grunt. A cry of pain slips past my mouth. The gun falls to the floor with a thunk. And as soon as it lands, a foot kicks out of my reach and it slides uselessly under the bed. Agony suddenly explodes in my chin, breaking loose a sharp cry of pain as stars fill the edges of my vision. The taser clipped to my belt is the next thing to go the moment I'm down. The sound of it sliding roughly against the wooden floor somewhere grates against my ears, along with my labored breathing. The next thing I know, a piece of cloth is closing around my neck. Without warning, my attacker pulls. Tight. I'm left gasping, choking and clawing for air, blindly reaching behind me, as I still try to fight him off and loosen the pressure on my neck. Except any sort of movement only causes him to pull a taunt.
My, so many rats scurrying about in this mansion lately.
Writes Butler. Shite.
Tell me, what did you do with the madam?
I have no idea what he's talking about, but something happened to Hannah Wright. This is still a route where Hannah dies, by the way.
Let go, you asshole.
Now, Dummkopf, you're in no position to be rude. Last time I checked, I'm not the one breaking into other people's homes. Now answer my question. What did you do with the madam?
The pain rings and resonates from my already sore body. Still, I managed to write it out and spit a mutinous
You.
"Fuck you!"
Keep that dirty mouth babbling and you're getting a knife in the kidney.
So since Zach is alive in this route, they don't have anyone to pin the blame on and the body is probably still in the mansion.
I assure you it will be more painful than this.
He really doesn't need to friend me by now. It's all too much to bear at this point. My lungs feel like they're burning with the lack of air. Dark spots begin to fill the edges of my vision. Ever so slowly, the world around me dims. My consciousness rapidly slips away from me. Without meaning to,
Get away from him!
Hearing that voice, it's as if I've been doused with a bucket full of ice. Cold water. Familiar. Too familiar. And more importantly, it shouldn't be here. I shouldn't be hearing it here. She shouldn't be here. Immediately, my eyes snap open. Isabella. She got the taser. And right there, right in the attic's doorway, stands Isabella of all people, and she's got a rolling pin for some reason. A rolling pin in one hand and a standard-issue police taser in the other. My taser. She must have picked it up from where this bastard kicked it off earlier. Where else could she have gotten one? I doubt she has ever used one even. Hell, the way she holds it right now, this guy can easily disarm her in one hit. Yeah, it's true, she's like holding it out there being snapped away. But there's something in her. In her eyes. Although there's a look of fear in them and her hands shake, she keeps a weapon trained and pointing at the scumbag's lackey. Untrained or not, she's does not plan to leave here without picking up. Kind of a little weird. Probably she does not plan to leave here without putting up a fight, it seems. Admirable, really, but it's just not something we need right now. I need her to be away from here. I need her safe. But the chances of that happening grow slim with every laughter that slips from him.
Oh, this is just getting better and better.
Is Luke gonna come up now?
The Bratwurst won't be pleased with the number of bodies we have to dispose of today, you know. Tell me, how many of you are there? So I can prepare the proper number of bags.
Damn it. What the fuck is going on? Why is she here in the first place? Did she follow after me? Who else came with her? Zach? Rebecca? Are they all here? You can, as you see, as the story updates because they're all alive. Panic surges within me. She knows how bad the situation is, but does she really have to run in here and expose herself all like that? Does she even know how to use a taser? For fuck's sake, what they're wearing for my life, it's her I'm concerned about. Getting strangled, dying by choking isn't part of the plan, but her following me here isn't either. This is why I prefer to do things alone. This is why I'd rather be the only one to take the consequences. I don't even want to think what this bastard might do to her after he's done with me. When my voice comes off nearly a croak, I try to tell her as much. She has to leave. Stay far away from here and these people.
Don't! Damn it, Isabella! Get out of here!
Another bout of pain erupts in my side, cutting off my words. A cry of agony bursts from my mouth. I can taste blood on my tongue as I heave. I attempt to get in as much air despite the towel still coiled around my neck.
Ash?
You're going to lose air quickly that way, Dummkopf. Better keep it shut.
Get out! 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 Belle!
Don't be stupid! I'm not leaving you here!
He laughs, too cruel, too unforgiving. The way each note beats against my ears, despite the warmth in them, sends chills down my spine. This is a man whose hands have already been stained with blood before. He won't hesitate.
I'd follow his advice if I were you, little girl. What could you possibly do with a toy?
Taser you in the face?
Just hand it over and be on your way. It'll probably be too difficult for a little girl like you to use.
Do it, shoot him in the face. There's a moment of silence. Fuck, I can barely keep my eyes open. But the next second, though I still don't exactly understand what's happening, Isabella shouts. Now a cry of pain. Late bloomer. Now a yell of panic. But one that's resolute. Firm. I'm curious. Was there a branching to that could have possibly happened where she wasn't brave? Because I see there's a branching right here. And we're going north right now. Perhaps in a tone that's leagues fiercer than any I've heard from her before.
Try me! Ashton, duck!
I do. More out of instinct and desire to survive. Closing my eyes before my mind can fully process what's going on. It all happens in a blur. Did you hear him in the face? The telltale sound of a taser being discharged resounds through the room. The air crackles. Something whizzes by, almost too close to my ear, followed by a flood of something blunt connecting solidly with another object. The next thing I know, the towel strangling me has started to loosen. I collapse on the floor, dazed and gasping for air. From my peripheral, through the haze of blood rushing, his sound slowly filtering back. The butler buckles. He spasms once. Where'd you hit him? In the face? Then without much fuss, falls face first beside me. knocked unconscious by 50,000 volts electricity and a fucking rolling pin. He'll be out for a while. I have no idea whether I should laugh or cry at that. I guess that butler is now the butt of the joke. Somewhere in front of me, my oxygen-deprived brain vaguely registers Isabella's form. She slumps on the floor, also breathing heavily. Right next to her trembling hands, both the taser and the rolling pin lie useless and forgotten, while the mood in the room eases. A long, gradual process of the tension lifting. For countless seconds we remain quiet, with only our short gasps, and sighs to fill the silence, following the adrenaline ebb away and both our breathing to slow. Not true repose by any means, but simply a brief respite. There's still the curse. We're still inside the mansion, in imminent danger. We still have no idea how to fix this. Outside, the rain seems to only intensify. Lightning flashes fleetingly somewhere. White and piercing, and the sky rumbles. No rest for the wicked. I stir first, once recovered, having regained some semblance of sense and strength. Breathing still hurts, but it's bearable. As is moving. Although every small motion causes a wince, there will be bruising tomorrow. I can manage. Retrieving my gun from under the bead is easy. Only with some effort, I am able to drag an unconscious man to the far end of the room, snapping one end of a handcuff on his wrist while fastening the other in the bed frame. Man, if that ghost comes in here, that's a death trap. That should keep him restrained for a few hours in case wakes up prematurely. I feel like the grammar sometimes falls off the face of the earth. I mean, with so much dialogue there's in there, I guess it couldn't spell check at all. All through this, Isabella stays quiet. In fact, she hasn't even moved since. Her hands still shake and taking in long draws of breath while she stares vacantly in front of her, almost as if she's in shock. Perhaps she isn't even expecting any result, spurred only by some kind of desperation. Now it's sinking in. Unfortunately, we need to get moving. We don't have time to wait for everything to register in our heads. Kneeling in front of her, I give her a slight shake.
Belle, we need to go. We can't stay here.
You bring the entire fellowship, Belle? Slowly she turns, staring at me with wide eyes. Worry flickers briefly in them along with something ineffable. Then without warning, she lifts a hand and slaps me right across the face. Ow. The sound of it cracks the air, shattering the silence like a fragile glass breaking. Despite the familiar rumble of thunder outside, it manages to ring louder above the storm. I don't even know what hit me, until my head has already snapped back and my cheek stings with her anger. And it is anger. In spite of the stillness and the lack of words afterwards, not fuming though, never fuming, but the kind that burns slightly and soundlessly. A frustration instead of a seething rage. Damn, my hair is so pretty. One that ebbs just as quickly as it flows, and once the tide subsides, there's only that gleam in her eyes, warm, steadfast, and unflinching. You really like that ebb and flow, comparison. Quietly, I brace myself for the truth underneath that gaze. It slips from her lips, softly. Damn, everyone has nice lips in this story. I'm just saying, I'm looking at them up close now. Nearly fitting into the sound of the rain still falling fast, if not for the weight in each of her words.
What is wrong with you?
Belle.
If Zach didn't slip up, no one would have known where you went.
Belle, one person knowing is enough. Any more than that, and...
You almost died! He could have suffocated you right then and there, and you could have died!
I wonder what would have happened if Zach wasn't alive.
I told Zach to give me 4 hours. That would have been enough time to...
It would have been too late! And by the time anyone ever finds out, you're already fertilizer!
She trails off, drags one indrawn breath after another. A brief lull as her frustration finally gives, dissolves into something more pensive and somber. Her shoulders droop, and though her voice rises hoarse and weary, in her next words there's only certainty.
You count too, you know. When I said, that night when I told you, I don't want to lose anyone anymore, that includes you! Alive! We're still here, Ash. You have us.
And once her meaning fall, roar, is not so with the force of a dam breaking or a raging storm, but with the gentle steady warmth of a heart burning, an ember easing slowly, lightly, rising and giving, till all that's left is a truth, an understanding. Not alone. Never alone. It lingers, even as we both drift back into silence and her words take root, because in the gratitude that swells after is another warmth blooming. Pleasant, welcoming, like finding home, like finding ourselves in the haze of a squall has left, creating something fragile yet immutable in both of us. It's in her eyes, in the way she holds my gaze, unwavering, in the way she carries herself despite sitting amidst a place she fears, in the way she keeps herself from trembling and falling apart, because fear is inconsequential when people she cares about are at risk. A change. She realizes that now, holds on to it. Another little thing, another small thing from her, that may go unnoticed and pass by quietly, but will eventually amount to a lot of things. Tiny gestures that mean nothing at first, but began to marry me one day until... oh. Despite myself, a small smile slips from my lips as the same warmth from earlier unfurls in my chest. Unhurried, familiar, and bright from all these years I've carried it, but I've never given the words for it.
Stop smiling like that, Ashton! I'm not done scolding you!
But this time they come easy. Are you ready? Here it is.
I heard all of it. Don't worry.
Are you really okay? That guy hit you a little too hard on the head. Here, let me...
I reach up just as she extends a hand towards my face, catching her wrist in a light grip, drawing it closer and folding her hand in between mine. Shh. Here it comes. You all ready? You ready? It's coming. Although her expression does shift into mild confusion, she does not pull away like I'm expecting. She simply stares at me, searching. For her to allow a gesture from me that's perhaps too close, it does a lot how far things have already shifted in the past few years. Cradled in mine, her hand still trembles. Most of the tremors has already subsided by now, though I doubt it'll fade away this soon. Even as I trace the lines of her palm, in what I hope is a comforting gesture.
I'm sorry. No.
For what?
Wait for it!
Is this about what happened tonight? You can apologize later, when...
Come on, Ash, don't disappoint me.
No, well, this too, but it's not just about this. It's for a lot of things. For calling you clumsy, and careless, and a scatterbrain.
Are you sure this isn't a concussion?
You would think that, wouldn't you?
Well, you don't usually apologize.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry about that too. For all the times I've teased you and made you cry.
Unexpectedly, her fingers tighten around mine, our hands falling between us as something tender shifts in the air. Another exhale. Another drawn breath eases out of me, filled with every hesitation and uncertainties. But when I finally choose to break silence, it's only when I know that what will slip past my mouth is the one truth I'll hold against the world.
But for all those callous words...
Is it here?
Despite all those, there's nothing I don't love about you. In fact, those things, I love those.
Come on, don't dance around it.
And everything. Everything that's you.
Don't say it in such an indirect way, come on. For a long moment, she offers no response. Her grip on my hands merely tighten. Although my heart's pounding hard against my ears, I take a chance and look up. Slightly leaning away and giving her a cautious glance, more than ready to hear her rejection. Instead, I find her on the brink of tears, with an almost unreadable expression on her face. When she notices my eyes on her, she hastily reaches up and wipes away with the back of her hands. It does not keep them from falling, and soon they trail down her cheeks, despite her best attempts. To say this panic shoot right at the base of my throat is a complete understatement. This isn't how I expected this to go.
Hey, Belle, did I say something wrong?
Why would you? I don't even have anything.
What?
I don't have anything.
No, seriously, what?
I'm not rich. I live off instant noodles almost every day. I can't do anything properly without someone helping me. Except maybe if it's drawing, but that's beside the point. I didn't even get to graduate, even if I was so close. I'm not even sure that scholarship will get me anywhere. And ever since I came here, in the 5 years you've known me, I've got us into all kinds of trouble. So why would you even say that? I'm not...
Maybe it's the moment itself that spurs me to it. The desperation. The fear of almost dying. That I've already said more than what I'll usually allow myself, and I might as well finish before I lose my nerve. No matter the reason, I reach out for her. Gently, so unlike the way she barged into our lives so many years ago. The way she came in would leave a terrible impression on anyone, really, and yet it's people like her that you don't easily forget. It's them that gradually worms their way into a person's life, till the very thought of losing them becomes unbearable. Isabella trails off once my palm brushes against her tear-stained cheeks, but she neither pulls away nor pushes my hands off. Wherever she looks at me wide-eyed, with another searching look. I only have one answer for that.
It doesn't matter. All of that is still you, and that's enough for me.
No promises, only truths. Perhaps the only genuine thing I can offer at the moment. We don't even know what will happen, or if we'll ever survive this. So instead of words, I lean in, our foreheads briefly touching, before brushing my lips tenderly against hers. Okay, I'll accept it. It's not as direct words I want, but I'll accept this. The kiss is nothing intimate, by any means. There's a brief second once our lips touch when she tenses, unsure. A long moment of not knowing that to do with her hands? Okay, until she settles in on me. Slipping it up on my arm is a light grip. Afraid. Too afraid to make a mistake or hurt. But for now, it's enough. It's the closest we can come to it. Rather than give out empty promises or grand proclamations, we have this. Something she soon understands as her shoulders ease and she permits me to draw her closer, deepening the kiss. Softly and gently, a short second of simply allowing the world to melt away around us, and this to roar above anything else. Like every little thing between us has built up to this one single point in time. Well, I bet Ash is much happier in this route than the other ones, considering what went down. A moment that becomes ours and ours alone. Something to hold close until all of this is over. We part later to the sounds of the world rushing back around us. Thunder, rain, and lightning. All to remind us both of reality we have to face. You know, like the killer ghost that possesses this house that you're in, or, you know, the ninja butler or the owner. You know, a lot of danger in this house. Maybe we're dragging this on a little too long. Enough to dampen the mood and force back the worry I've temporarily forgotten. Yet when I glance back at Isabella, all she has for me is a small smile, bright and hopeful. And it is strength enough. One that I try to draw from, when I rest my forehead against hers one last time, before leading us both out, her hand in mine. We're holding hands as we exit out the room. That's the time and place, but you know. Power still hasn't come back when we make our way downstairs. Tricky considering the stairs to the attic are a bit old. And let's see. So I branched north, and then it branched south. This must be the Isabella convention right here. And then... ooh, something right there goes down. And then comes back and links up here. And then we keep going straight. There's a bottom mill route that eventually merges back with this route. I'm not sure we know what's going on there. And then we get to the end. Very long route. Big choices, big changes. And one final split towards the end, which may or may not be a certain choice. Power still has to come back when we make our way downstairs. Tricky considering the stairs to the attic are a bit old. One misstep and anyone might end up slipping and falling. You're lucky if that's all that'll happen to you. If the stairs is steep, a broken neck is a likely outcome. Thankfully, Isabella's here to guide me through the darkness. She knows this place better than anyone. After all, in spite of all the misfortunes it has brought us.
Careful, the floorboards over there aren't very sturdy.
And over there, someone died. Right on cue, the same board I'm stepping on creaks and suddenly breaks. The pieces falling somewhere with a dull thunk.
Oh shit. Scumbag wouldn't be too happy about that.
You damaged my floor. I can repair it with money, but still, I only have so many stacks of bills. Who am I joking? I have so many. But still, it's the point.
Ow, my foot.
See? I told you so. You never listened to me.
They renovated the whole mansion and they can't even replace one tiny part of the house.
Why don't you file a complaint to BRC then? I'm sure they'd be thrilled to hear it. You know it was such a rushed job.
Outside, the winds have intensified. Even from here, I can hear the gusts battering the window in the attic. Makes you wonder why up until now, the only person we've encountered from this house is the butler. Although to some degree, that makes sense. He is in charge of running the place. Where are the other servants, though? In the storm, wouldn't anyone want to stay inside? A likely assumption is they're all asleep. The route I've taken doesn't really pass by the rooms they've likely assigned as the servants' quarters. However, they have also heightened security. I've rushed it off earlier, thinking they'll be posted a lot closer to where the master's rooms are. But the second floor is devoid of anyone as well. As if every inhabitant of this place has suddenly disappeared overnight. More importantly, where's that scumbag? I don't like this. I don't like this at all. The fact that we're here right in the fucking middle of it makes me all the more queasy. And that feeling only escalates once we reach the landing and Isabella swings the door open. She pauses abruptly right in the doorway that I almost run into her. A look of confusion's in her as she looks wildly around the place, wordlessly taking in her surroundings. With each turn and shift of her eyes, her shoulder only grows tenser and a look of apprehension slowly dawns on her.
Isabella, what are you...
We aren't supposed to be here.
Well, it's beginning. The house is starting to transform. It's going 100% ghost. Sure enough, when I look up, we're standing right in the kitchen. Pots, pans, and all. In one corner, Zach and Rebecca watch us, almost as surprised to see us. How did you guys get here? Relieved as I am that they've had the sense of way to not venture deeper into the mansion, I can't keep but roll my eyes at the both of them. Now the whole Scooby Gang's assembled.
Zach, I said 4 hours.
I know, but Isabella asked and... Come on, bro, you know I ain't a very good liar.
And it didn't even occur to you to stop her?
We all tried, all right? She was out the door before we could say anything.
And how did you guys even get in here?
All three of them exchange a look. One that I absolutely don't like. In the end, it's Isabella who speaks up, albeit with a bit of hesitation.
We heard someone scream, Ash. It led us here.
Without warning, the door behind us slams shut.
We need to get out of here.
Screw right. I need to get these people out of here. Lucky we're in the kitchen, we have 2 ways out. A back door and the cellar offers. Except the hatch won't budge when I pull on it, and neither does the back door, as if something has locked it firmly on the other side. Zach also gives it a few tries. But even with the big guy's strength, it won't open. There's also a long bout of silence in which we all simply look at each other, likely sharing the same thoughts. We're trapped. Something or someone has intentionally led us here. Folk. In that same moment, once realization dawns in, something shifts again. Blood. Yep, there's the 100% ghost. There's no 70%, there's no 60%, it's just straight to 100. Every nook and cranny, over every surface and in every inch of the floor. This time, unlike the first one I've seen it. It remains, and gradually the whole room began to reek of what that familiar metallic scent. Sharp. Suffocating. Around us, every object, including the cupboards, have started to rattle as well. The sounds from outside, the foreboding rumble of thunder and even the howling winds have begun to fade away, replaced by whispers, shouts, and cries of pain. Though inaudible, each beat and note bombards every crevice in my head with vague images and sounds. There's no time to make sense of everything, however. I'm already shouting, fueled purely by adrenaline, barking orders and making a break for the door that leads to the next room. The dining. It should take us straight to the foyer, where the main door is.
Move! Run!
Right in front of us, the mansion started to change and we're in the thick of it. However, instead of the dining room, it's like it's supposed to open to. The bedroom welcomes us instead. So this is kind of what Ash went down with in the other route. It begins. There's a lot of little changes here that we completely dodged. Wow. A lot of variances in this game. It's quite a bit. The bedroom welcomes us instead. An image that lasts only about a second before blood begins to seep into the room. Filtering to the walls, trickling from every nook and cranny. Everywhere. Furniture shakes and every beam rattles. Before we can even step back from the horror gradually unfolding in front of us, the door slams shut. A loud thud bringing a sense of dread and chill creeping up in each of us. Along with it is another realization. The whole place is reordering itself. And with the door closed tight behind us, showing no signs of budging, even through sheer force, there's no choice but to go forward and hope to all gods that will lead to an exit. So this is basically the same as the other kind of encounter that Ash had. Until then, running is the only thing we can do, spurred by nothing but fear and a sense of desperation to live.
It's useless, Ashton Frey.
It's useless, Ashton Frey. With each room we pass, it only becomes apparent that the house has no intention of letting us leave. It lured all of us here and we've fallen for it. Now it's playing a little game with us. A sordid form of amusement. For whom? Their laughter is the only thing we can hear. With every hall we cross and door we slide open, the hope of finding an exit merely dwindles. The gun in my hip is useless here. I am useless here. Just start shooting the house. That's intelligent. Some fucking genius I am. Some fucking person to trust I am. All of those, they mean nothing in the face of the unknown.
You finally figured it out. Huh, Ashton Frey. Just give it up. All of them will eventually die because of you. And you are going to die alone.
Why are you copying everyone's voice still? Everyone's here just in fine.
Shut your fucking mouth!
You know it's true, though.
All of it.
It's why all you can do is tell us to shut up. You don't want to hear a single word, because you're already aware of it.
You can't even admit it to yourself. Who's the coward now?
But no matter how hard you try, you're not gonna be able to save anyone.
The more gruesome the place turns, the bleaker our chances simply get. Wails and screams fill our ears as we pass by. Words from a time and people long gone, laced with nothing but pure agony, calling out, reaching out to us. Their voices almost too real as if we're not the only ones trapped here, that there are others begging for release from this wretched place.
Why are you doing this? Just please, don't you love me?
Or maybe it's all just a show. A taste of what we will eventually be. Souls forever held captive in a never-ending nightmare.
Mother, I've done it, Mother. Take me with you, please. I can still hear her. She's here. Help me! Help me, please!
Is this what the curse is? What it means for all of us? With the letter and non-morbid cry for help, an invitation. A beckoning for unsuspecting souls to be dragged into this place's horrors, to be put under centuries and centuries of torment and agony. Suddenly, dying a painful death seems preferable, enticing, than ending up here, living a tortured existence. Or perhaps it's all the same. Still, hope it worms its way back into me. Not a usual thing for someone like me. Look at that save. Look at that save right there. But after going through countless doors and corridors, every little sign of hope, I'm willing to cling to, as long as it'll get us out of here. We're back in the dining room again. How long have we been running? How long since we've left the kitchen? At some point I've lost track of time. With the windows barred tight and the sounds letting in the air, nothing but shouts and shrieks, it's impossible to tell. Not that it matters when an end is in sight. Shelves and furnishings bar the door, each stained with blood and gore. That if the situation isn't as desperate as it is, I'll find a different way out. There's still a gap left at the topmost part for a person to go through, as long as you use the shelves to climb.
It's an exit, alright.
But from here I can spy the familiar walls of the foyer. Like no one else is commenting on this, it's kind of a wasted opportunity. Relief. Only relief washes over me. Although my legs have been strained taut by all that running, and every bone and muscle in my body ache, there's only an easing. A sense of tension relieving while energy black flows through me again at the sight of an end. No sooner I'm leading us out of it. Zach helps Isabel and Rebecca first, assisting them up and through the gap. The moment the ladies are in, I nod for him to go through.
Go ahead. I'll watch your back.
Surprisingly, he does that without any protests. Not there's any need to. Sometime after entering this room, the whole place has calmed down. No wails, no whispers, just a silence too deafening. But I'm not laying my guard down until everyone's on the other side of this nightmare. Safe. For all I know, this may just be a calm before there's another storm. It is, without further incident. However, Zach makes it to the other side and I'm following after him. However odd this hush is, I turn my back from it and climb up. It's a tight fit, but I manage to squeeze myself in. The unease remains, though. Maybe it's the adrenaline still coursing through me or how easy everything has been after living through that nightmare, fleeting as it is. But for some reason, something's still nagging at me. Call it a detective's instinct or my training or whatnot. I have a feeling something's happened while that typo exists on both ends and catch us unprepared. Unconsciously, before dropping down on the bare side of this dream, my hand shifts to the gun at my hip. Instinct has never failed me before. My feet hasn't even landed firmly on the floor when...
Had I known there would be a party in my own home tonight, I would have opened a bloody bottle or two.
Make that 4.
People these days, in my own home, can you believe it? I feel so left out.
A chill seeps into every vein in my body. All of a sudden, every ache, every pain returns to me a tenfold, and my knees threaten to buckle at the sound of his voice. Though it appears friendly, I know it is anything but. One does not spend investigating a man like him for over a year and holding a grudge against him for more without knowing everything about him. His quirks, his habits, I'm familiar with all of them. And right now, Luke Fulkenright is beyond pissed. Shifting my gaze upwards is nearly too painful, knowing the danger. Not to me, but to those who have been lured in here by the curse. Oh, you're playing this game. The hangman catches my eyes first, fixes that swarmy smile on his face while he holds Zack and Rebecca and Isabella at gunpoint. It's sight, enough to lodge a painful thorn up my throat. I've been too complacent. Too focused on a number of things, I've completely set aside the fact that Scumbag will not be too pleased to see us here without knowing our reasons. But even with those, good intentions, curses, and ghostly variations aside, we're still trespassing in his home. The question is, if he's even aware that the whole of his household has somehow disappeared and he might be the only one here. Likely not. Fuck. Even with people he knows among the crowd, there's a significant effort in him not to simply shoot everyone in sight. Yeah, like he knows Rebecca pretty well, he had kind of a attraction to her.
And really, Daisy, even you, what would Kylie say?
Yep, there it is.
Luke, this isn't what you're thinking. You have to listen to us. There's something going on here.
Well, obviously, why else would people be trespassing in my home? What about little Lily over there, then? What's your excuse? Checking back if your clients are doing okay? Is that it? Is this what this is?
Actually, that's technically true. We're doing good, by the way.
Sir, please.
Oh, please what?
Becca's right, sir. We need to get out of this place. You need to leave.
Tut, not a good enough excuse, darling. You people are the ones who need to get out of my sight. Don't worry, I might consider pressing lighter charges for the woman. Can't say the same for the rest of you. But really now, I swear the people of this city need to be taught the meaning of privacy. This is how you want to start the week.
I mean, he sounds like he wants to let us leave. Why don't we just leave? Come back in for like another door.
Why don't we just go with a bloody massacre if we want to surprise people in their homes, huh?
Then again, the ghost did lock the doors. Yeah, we're pretty doomed. Casually, he waves the handgun at them, as if it's just a mere toy in his words and no threat. The safety's often his. Nothing stopping him from pushing through with his words. Call me paranoid, but at the slight gesture, I draw my own and level it at him, finger on the trigger and ready to release the safety catch in case things go south. Just release the safety, there's no reason to have it on at the moment. He's quick to train his own on me, though, and just like that, we're at a standstill.
Now, Feathers. Manners. You're in no position to be pointing that gun at people.
Feathers?
Why don't you put yours down first, and then we'll talk about manners.
Oh, he talks back. The gall! You know, your kind pisses me off so much.
Shooting him right now will be so worth it. The way he stares at me like I'm a damn pest. But this isn't what I've come here for. I'm not a murderer. As much as I loathe him, I'm not the kind who will kill people in cold blood for my own gain or amusement. The law will bring him what he deserves one of these days. At the moment, however, we're all in the same boat with this curse, and he needs to understand that. The longer we stand here, the more time we're wasting and losing, something we don't have much of. But how can I convince him? The scum is so full of himself, prefers to hear the sound of his own voice more than those of the people around him, no matter how much sense they make. Probably the only way I can make him listen is if I beg. No way in hell that's happening. Maybe I should eliminate the immediate danger first and disarm him. My life's not the only one at risk here, however. There's Zack, there's Rebecca, there's Isabella. We're all unknowing victims to this Fulken curse. I'm in no position to pick who to save and who I should simply let die. I suppose my pride can take a few hits and I can set aside my beef with this asshole. Take a deep breath slowly, I lower my pistol. Though still on the edge and at ready, in case he does something, I do my best to assume a less aggressive stance.
Listen, Wright, I need you to...
You broke into my house, and somehow, you expect me to listen like a good little boy. Are you a bit touched in the head, Feathers? I'm not the one breaking laws here.
Look here, fucker. If I wanted you dead, I could have done it so many times already.
You know, when I listen to that line again, Ashton's really edgy.
In fact, I can easily shoot you down right here, right now.
Like it just comes off so unintimidating.
And you won't be able to do a damn thing, even with that gun.
Suddenly he laughs, almost howling. In fact, Like if I just told him the best joke he's heard in all of his life. The only thing missing is for him to keel over and start rolling around the floor. All while I do my best not to sock him with the sorry end of my pistol.
You have guts, Feathers. You have guts. Did you hear what you just told me? You've just threatened me inside my own house. My own home. You know what I'm thinking right now? In another lifetime, we would have probably gotten along well.
He's right on that, at least. I might have ended up like him if I didn't have Professor Andrew, Rebecca, Zach, and Isabella. One mistake and it would have been too late for me. With his laughter rings all those possibilities I could have lived, but I've never given the choice. All because I have other people with me. People who care. A sobering realization. But not so much when suddenly his chuckling stops. In 2 heartbeats, he marches towards me, grabs my collar, and aims his gun right at my head.
Ashton?
What? What was that?
Luke, no!
Hey, now you two, I'm sure we can all talk about this first.
What happened to Isabella's line there? At this distance, a slight flick of that finger on the trigger will do more than kill me.
What is it that you people really want with me? This is the 2nd time this week, and I'm really getting weary of this little game. Did the NCA send you to apprehend me, or has somebody paid you off to kill me? Which one is it, Feathers? Mind you, my arm's getting tired. Better answer quick if you don't want to beat the business end of this gun.
I keep my eyes trained on him. It's by the huge threat he poses right now. Because if there's anything people like him, like us, prefer, it's honesty. You don't get that impression without keeping a solid eye contact.
I'm not with NCA. I'm just here to help. There's something else in this house, and we're all in danger. You have to believe me, right? You need to let us go. You need to get out of here before it's too late. If you want to keep your sorry ass alive, you'll listen to people with more brain cells than you.
Why, you insolent!
His finger moves, but I'm prepared. My hand ready to reach up, disarm him, and knock him out. If I have to drag him out of this place unconscious, to keep him from suffering the fates of every other person who's died from this curse, so be it. However, before either of us can fire a shot or tackle the other to the ground, another voice echoes throughout the foyer. A small little thing compared to the storm raging outside. It rings above it, nevertheless causing all of us to stop and turn. At the top of the staircase, Hannah Wright stands, pale as death and expression eerily calm. A cold chill runs up my spine at the sight. The woman just lingers there, a poor mimicry of life, a chilling smile on her face. Without a doubt, it's her.
Hannah? You're not supposed to be here.
Oh, Luke, darling, my love. You look so upset. Are you not happy to see me?
Outside, another streak of lightning flashes and a clap of thunder ripples across the sky. As if this whole thing can't get any more foobar than it already is. Now we go for the disarm him route.
Sorry about this. I really don't have time for you.
I don't think twice. Within the span of a heartbeat, I'm moving and pulling on the trigger. 2 shots in quick succession echo across the whole foyer, and both hit their mark true. Wright recoils with a sharp cry of pain. His pistol falls useless to the floor with a loud clank, followed by drops of blood from his bleeding wrist.
Why, you insolent!
Considering Wright's been like kinda shot in the arm, he responds pretty calm. He's down 2 successive steps when I tackle him on the floor, hitting him hard with my arm. Before I can knock him out with a solid right hook, an agonized wail bursts through the tense air, loud enough to echo along the dark, empty halls of the mansion. Piercing enough for every occupant in the foyer to cover their ears and close their eyes. And all at once there are images. Bringing down me with the weight of its accompanying emotions like they are my own. All from a time long gone and a life that was never mine. However, there's no time to make sense of all of it. Amidst the discord and the noise, something whizzes past by. Too close. Too swift. A brief, keen blur that barely registers in my eyes. Like an arrow quickly finding its mark and heading straight for...
Isabella!
Time slows to a stop. In one moment of clarity, my body moves on its own. Heart pounding hard against my ears. Blood rushing through every vein. Spurred only by adrenaline and a desperate bid to reach her crouched, unsuspecting form, and... I don't even get to yell for her a second time. I don't even get to call her name.
Ashton!
Sorry, Ash. An acute pain burst from my chest in that next instant. All of a sudden, everything around me feels too sharp. Every edge, every point. I can't help but feel like that's a weird pun. Even the act of drawing a breath alone stings and burns my lungs, while an intense ache slowly spreads throughout my whole body. Numb. I feel numb. A hand comes away bleeding, shaking, while I can only let out a wet, ragged laugh. Soon, without warning, I'm going down on my knees and the whole world is pitching sideways. An arm, warm and welcoming, is on me the second I stumble back, catching my fall. Isabella's always been warm, after all.
Ash?
Her hands are shaking. Her lips are quivering while she looks at me with wide, fearful eyes. This is because they confess to each other. You never confess before the climax. Tears have started to form at their corners, threatening to spill at any moment, and a pang of regret hits me at the sight of it.
Ashton!
Even for the last time, I can't even give her a reason to smile.
Hey, you're crying again. Don't give me that look. I told you. It doesn't suit you.
Cautiously, despite the stabbing aches shooting up at every moment, I reach a trembling hand to wipe them away. Crying has never looked good on her, after all. My arm never makes it far, however. Midway she meets my hand, catching it in a light grip, as if she's all too afraid I might break. Though I already am. Just slowly. The pain is easing. Everything's going cold.
Shut up, Ash! Don't move, alright? Stop talking! We'll get you a doctor! Someone! Just stay put! Just stay put, okay? You'll be fine. You'll be fine.
I like to agree with that on her. Reassure her. But I've gone through a lot. Survived a lot of shit. It doesn't take a genius to figure out that I'm done for. Whatever hit me, a hole to the chest is fatal enough. I don't think I'm going to bounce back from this. I'm dying.
I'm sorry.
I should be afraid in this moment. Yet I'm not. No fear. No dread. Just an acceptance. And a deep regret as she appears before us, her voice echoing throughout the foyer. At the top of the staircase, Hannah Wright stands, pale as death and expression eerily calm. A cold chill runs up my spine at the sight. The woman just lingers there, a poor mimicry of life, a chilling smile on her face. Without a doubt, it's her.
I told you, didn't I? Everything you're doing is useless, Ashton Frey. And now, you're dying. Meddlesome fool.
Hannah? You're not supposed to be here.
Oh, Luke, darling, my love. You look so upset. Are you not happy to see me?
Outside, another streak of lightning flashes and a clap of thunder ripples across the sky. Here, there's only a whispered sigh, a fading breath, and a lone heart that beats hard one last time. She got one thing wrong, though. I did not die alone.
Who's there? I'm asking you a question. Who's there?
I think I should be the one asking you that. Who are you? Show yourself.
I can't. I'm stuck in here. I can't get out! Can you help?
You? McLaughlin?
Holmes?
What? How long have you been stuck in here?
3 days? 4? I don't know. I have no idea anymore. I just fell in and that woman... Whatever. Can you get me out of here? Please.
In a moment. But here, go feed yourself first before you fall over.
What are you looking for?
Some wood, a 2x4, I guess, a plank or a pipe, anything I can use as a lever. Wait here.
Will this do?
Good enough.
Thank you. Thank you so much. After the second day, I was so sure I was going to die in there. If you didn't show up, today, I don't even want to think about it.
How did you even end up here?
I was looking for something. Someone.
So this whole tunnel, at the end of it, it leads right inside the mansion?
The wine cellar. There's a door of some sorts. I don't know. I think I pulled or pressed something somewhere. I was in a hurry, and I'm not sure if it'll open from this side. Hell, this place wasn't even in the floor plans!
What do you mean?
Does that really matter now? We have to get out of here! People died in this place! Kids! Oh God! Kids! I could have shown you, but that thing won't turn back on anymore. It's like it only waited for me to see it before shutting down or something. How long has that thing even been in there? But those poor kids. All because of that thing.
Wait, hold on. What are you talking about right now?
The bloody letter! Ever since I've read that thing, since that day at the open house, she won't leave me. But it should be fine now, right? I broke it. I broke all of it. She shouldn't be able to do anything now.
Mikala, one at a time.
It's all that fucking paper's fault! Oh God. Oh
God! Dear Lord in St. Adelaide, bless those poor souls. We're not safe here. We need to leave. If we stay here any longer...
Mikalo! Listen, I need to get inside this place, and you're more familiar with its layout. If you can help me...
What? No! Why would I go back? Are you sure you haven't gotten raving mad yet? An exit's right here.
And this business with the letter has to end at some point. Look, I know you're not very fond of Luke Wright.
Damn right I'm not. He can just go.
But are you really sure you want to leave him like this? And what about his wife?
Just until the kitchens.
That's more than enough.
And really, Daisy, even you, what would Kylie say?
Luke, this isn't what you're thinking. You have to listen to us. There's something going on here.
Well, obviously, why else would people be trespassing in my home? What about little Lily over there, then? What's your excuse? Checking back if your clients are doing okay? Is that it? Is this what this is?
Sir, please.
Oh, please what?
Becca's right, sir. We need to get out of this place. You need to leave.
Not a good enough excuse, darling. You people are the ones who need to get out of my sight. Don't worry, I might consider pressing lighter charges for the woman. Can't say the same for the rest of you. But really now, I swear the people of this city need to be taught the meaning of privacy. This is how you want to start the week. Why don't we just go with a bloody massacre if we want to surprise people in their homes, huh? Now, Feathers, manners. You're in no position to be pointing that gun at people.
Why don't you put yours down first, and then we'll talk about manners.
Oh, he talked back. The gall! You know, your kind pisses me off so much.
Listen, right. I need you to.
You broke into my house, and somehow, you expect me to listen like a good little boy. Are you a bit touched in the head, Feathers? I'm not the one breaking laws here.
Look here, fucker. If I wanted you dead, I could have done it so many times already. In fact, I can easily shoot you down right here, right now, and you won't be able to do a damn thing, even with that gun.
You have guts, Feathers. You have guts. Did you hear what you just told me? You've just threatened me inside my own house. My own home. You know what I'm thinking right now? In another lifetime, we would have probably gotten along well.
Luke, no!
Hey, now you two, I'm sure we can all talk about this first.
What is it that you people really want with me? This is the second time this week, and I'm really getting weary of this little game. Did the NCA send you to apprehend me, or has somebody paid you off to kill me? Which one is it, Feathers? Mind you, my arm's getting tired. Better answer quick if you don't want to beat the business end of this gun.
I'm not with NCA. I'm just here to help. There's something else in this house, and we're all in danger. You have to believe me, right? You need to let us go. You need to get out of here before it's too late. If you want to keep your sorry ass alive, you'll listen to people with more brain cells than you.
Why, you insolent!
Help me. Please.
Sorry about.
Why?
Rebecca!
Ash! Ashton?
This kind of feels like old times, doesn't it?
Ash, don't...
Sorry, Becca. Looks like this will be the last.
Stay put, Ash. We'll get you to a hospital. Don't move! And stop talking! You're making it worse! Don't worry! You'll be fine! We'll get you help!
I'm sorry.
I told you, didn't I? Everything you're doing is useless, Ashton Frey. And now, you're dying. Meddlesome fool.
Hannah?
Oh, Luke, darling, my love. What do you think you're doing out here this late?
Sorry about this. I really don't have time for—
Zach! Ash! Ashton?
Sorry, Z-Man.
Hey, bro. Stop talking, will you? This isn't...
It seems this will be the last time anyone will call you that.
Bro, this ain't the time to be. Just stop it with the jokes! Don't worry, bro. We'll get you to a hospital. Just don't move, okay? You're gonna make it worse. You'll be fine. You can call me. Man, you can call me, Z-Man, all you like. After you're fine. We'll get you help.
I'm sorry.
I told you, didn't I? Everything you're doing is useless, Ashton Frey. And now, you're dying. Meddlesome fool.
Hannah?
Oh, Luke, darling, my love. What do you think you're doing out here this late?